you're able to possibly make someone's day, you're able to make someone feel a little bit better, give back in so many ways, and then also you feel good too. So it's like a give and take type of thing. Even though you're doing it selflessly, it can appear sometimes that you're doing it selfishly as well, because it's something that we need as human beings. We need that sensation, we need that feeling of contribution too. Welcome back to another episode of Teen Talks. Today we are going to be talking about contribution, the importance of giving back, and how that can help your teenager and even you as a parent and your family as a whole to just grow together and experience new things in life. Yeah, Susan, why don't you give us a little example to get us going of like some things that you do when it comes to contribution with your family or anything that you guys have done in the past to really solidify your relationship and what that's brought you as a family and stuff like that.
Mhm. So, I mean, now my kids aren't home, so we don't do too much contribution together. But in the past, when they were younger, we would go on mission trips
Mm-hmm.
and go serve in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
outside of Tijuana, and drive out there where, families are living in cardboard houses and, whatever whatever they can find. And so we would go down there and build houses for them. And
Wow.
it was an incredible experience because one, you get a new perspective, and kids don't normally, kids, that are living in, you know, middle income households, they don't get to see that very often. It is quite eye-opening that other people are not living like we are. There's so
Yeah.
many out there that don't have all that we have. And and to see them happy. That's the other thing is they don't have hardly anything, yet they're extremely happy.
Mm-hmm.
At least on the front, that's what it appears to be. So that was really eye-opening for my kids when they came back. They come back and they come back to this and they appreciate everything that we have, that they have. And it built us together as a family because we had something to really connect on,
Mm-hmm.
because we all connected together with this feeling, and that we will always cherish those times. And so yeah, it really
Wow.
changed the dynamic of everything.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that and ask you another question. When it came to how, you know, when you guys were doing all this stuff, these mission trips, what changed, would you say, when it came to your kids in terms of, their maybe their values or how they viewed the world or their behavior as well? Like, because you
Yeah, it
talked
was
about, gratitude and stuff like that. What came from that?
yeah, gratitude for what you have, gratitude, just appreciate the small things, because yeah, they no longer felt that it changed. Not, my kids were never real greedy or anything, but it did change to where, they didn't ask for things as much. It was like
Mm,
they already knew they had all they needed, so they
yeah.
didn't ask for things as much. It also, I think they were always kind, but I think it made them even kinder, uh caring,
Hmm.
empathetic.
Hmm.
um they weren't afraid to make friends there, and understanding and realizing that just because someone doesn't have a lot of money or a lot of the things that we have doesn't mean that you can't be close. It's and then they understood about giving things away, so like
Yeah.
they would bring things to give to them,
Yeah.
toys or you know whatever,
Yeah.
and that felt good.
So it sounds like, I mean, contribution is a really good way to even like learn these different life skills, but also like develop these values and principles in life that can take you really far, right? When it comes to
Mhm.
who you are and develop you as a person too, right?
Mhm.
Would you say so?
Yeah. We also sponsored, we
Mm-hmm.
sponsored a couple of kids that were in other areas of the world, like sponsoring them so that they can go to school and things like that. And so when we did that, we would talk about it. We had the pictures of the kids so they could see them. And
Yeah.
knowing that every month we were giving them money so that they could do the things that they needed to do. So that
Yeah.
was also a good thing.
Yeah. There's that cheesy saying that everyone says, the more you give, the more you get, right?
It's
And I
not
feel
cheesy,
like
it's true.
that's the thing. It is so true. It is so true. Everyone says it though. Everyone says like the more you give, the more you get. But it is really, really true. I feel like it's if you believe in like the universe or karma and things like that, I mean, sure, you can interpret it that way where like, you give something to someone and at some point it's gonna come around, right? But I also think that just in that moment of you giving or helping someone out or making someone
Mhm.
smile, what you feel inside is equally, if not more powerful.
Oh,
Um,
100%. Yeah.
and it makes me think of Tony Robbins, right? When he talks about the six human needs, one of the six human needs is contribution, right? Giving back.
Mhm.
And it's something that I feel we all have within us. And if we're able to tap into that, um, and give, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just putting a smile on someone's face, it's a way of giving to someone, right? It's a way of giving
Right.
your energy, your positivity. So yeah, I mean, why
Yeah, when you
not?
say that too, it made me think of our Thrive 101 blueprint that we're doing with the kids, the
Hmm.
course that we're doing. And one of the challenges we give them is to go out and smile at people
Yeah,
when they're out. Just smile at them.
yeah.
Whether you know them or not, smile at them and see what happens,
Hmm.
because people want to be seen, right? And so when you smile at someone, it builds up them. So like, somebody saw me, somebody noticed me,
Yeah.
and you can usually get a smile back. So it's this really cool connection of just, I see you, appreciate you. It's just a smile. That's it. That's hard. Not hard at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we tend to keep our head down, especially like kids. I see them walking with their phones or whatever. It's like, no, look up, look at the people you're around and smile
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah. And it's also a fun game. I love playing that game because sometimes you will get people who won't like, they'll just look back at you and kind of be like, who is this kid? But when you do experience that connection, then it's like, oh yeah, this is fun.
It is
Um,
fun. I
yeah.
love that he said that as a game. I did that once. I was doing an event with a Tony Robbins event, and they
Hmm.
talked about it was about health. It was
Hmm.
vital, like health, but even what that does to your health,
Mm.
as far as, so I did this experiment. I walked down to the beach, and as I walked down, every single person, because I saw a lot of people, and it
Yeah.
was just like, I smile, look at
Yeah.
him in the eye and smile, and then just go on, and then you can see him smile back. And oh my gosh, by the time I got to the beach, I was just like, whoa, that's so fun.
Yeah, I think studies have actually shown that there's a connection between contribution and health, like physical health, because the way it works is like when you give back, you're actually the energy that you are experiencing is quite positive. That actually improves the health of your brain, which then obviously the brain is pretty much your operating system, right? So
Yeah.
it changes your overall health, but I think it's so cool. I think it's one of those things where it's like you're able to possibly make someone's day. You're able to make someone feel a little bit better. Give back in so many ways, and then also you feel good too. So it's like a give and take type of thing. Even though you're doing it selflessly, it can appear sometimes that you're doing it selfishly as well because it's something that we need as human beings. We need that sensation. We need that feeling of contribution too.
You're here because you want to be the best parent for your teen. Bravo! We are so grateful you're a Teen Talks listener and have chosen continual growth in parenting. You can do everything to encourage your teen, support your teen, and believe in your teen. But the reality is, your teen is the only one who can control how they feel, their actions, their beliefs, their resilience, and determine what they want in life. Your teen needs to develop the skills and mindset to be the driver of their life from the inside first, rather than letting their emotions take the wheel and accepting whatever life throws at them on the outside. And to be honest, they don't want to hear how to do it from you. So that's why we've created Thrive 101 Blueprint to be your partner in helping your teen transform their mindset and develop skills to thrive in any situation with resilience, passion, and action. And in just 10 short, engaging video sessions, your teen will learn to become more self-aware, discover what they want, to focus and take action on what matters, make decisions and serve them, and unleash the confidence that lies on the inside. Thrive 101 Blueprint is a teen's introduction to becoming the CEO of their life. Founding member access is open for a limited time. As a founding member, you get a massive discount, bonuses, lifetime access to video trainings and resources. Plus, you'll get discounts on any programs, courses, and summits that we offer in the future. And we have a big one coming up. Go to hub.fireflyquest.com/101p to learn more. Link is probably in the show notes. Living in these times requires teens to unleash their power to be the driver of their own life, because as much as you like to, you can't. We've got you.
One of the things that I remember I used to do, and I should actually do it again, but with my sister, we used to just like write down these little notes, like post-it notes, and stick them on cars, like just little positive messages, and just be like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, you're awesome,"
That's
things
good.
like that. It was like our little like one random act of kindness for the day. I feel like it's such a simple thing to introduce into families where like, yeah, let's all do a random act of kindness every day, and then at dinner or in the evening when everyone's together, like, oh, what was your random act of kindness? Like, what did
Yeah,
you do for someone? And also, like, what did you experience? What did someone do for you today?
yeah,
Um, yeah,
good
I
idea.
find it really cool. Do you have any other like suggestions of like how people can start introducing contribution in a more purposeful way, like into their lives and with teenagers and stuff?
Um, one one of the things I've heard that, I mean, you would have to have money to do this, but one of the things I've heard this one family does is they at Christmas time
Mm-hmm.
they get a bunch of envelopes and they put different dominant denominations of money in the envelopes. Something could be $1, it could be five, it could be 20, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever you can afford. And they don't mark them or anything, so they don't know how much is in there.
yeah,
And just during the holiday time, if they see someone that they just feel like they feel a pull,
yeah,
like to them, they just hand them an envelope and say Merry Christmas.
yeah. That's so
And
cool.
and how good would that feel? Like, my goodness. I
Yeah.
mean, wouldn't it be cool to say, hey, hey guys, hey kids, we're gonna cut back on our presents, but we're gonna put our money towards this instead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a way to, and let them hand it when they feel the pull, when they're
Yeah.
out and about. Here's your envelopes, and ask them to contribute as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just put the pot of money, put some stuff in it. It'd be so cool.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I've actually seen these like TikTok videos where this random person will just hand out like a little message, right, to a stranger sitting on a bench or a stranger just like drinking coffee or something like that. And the stranger is completely on their own. They'll just be handed this little post-it or this little sort of note with like a really nice message. And sometimes that message is exactly what that person needed to hear. And it just
Yeah,
hits home for them. Like it really does. Like they just get emotional and stuff. And you can see the difference that just a simple act of kindness can make. Like it's the simplest thing just to write
yeah,
something down and to give it to someone who you don't know. You never know how that can hit home. You never know how that can change someone's life in so many ways, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, contribution, but also our needs as human beings
Mm,
is to be seen and heard. We want to be seen and heard. We want to be loved.
yeah.
And any little bit just fills people's cup. It's
Hmm.
just, let's fill cups. Let's just fill cups. That's.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me
Exactly.
ask you, because I know your
Uh-huh.
family has done a lot with contribution. What has your family done as when you
Ooh.
were growing up?
So I think when it comes to
Because you're
contribution, I
still growing
feel
up.
still growing up. It's true. When it comes to contribution, yeah, my family's done quite a bit. We've done a lot as a family. I remember there was one time we had gone to Hawaii for like December, like the Christmas holidays, and we on actually on New Year's Day, we went to this church that was right across from where we were staying because they actually would send out like I think 100 meals a day to the homeless in Hawaii, in
Mm,
Maui more specifically.
mhm.
So we just decided like we had gone to see them because we were like, this would be a really good way for us to start the year just to do something to give back and Um, we just went into the kitchen and we just helped them cook all these meals. It was something really small, compared to all the other things that, need to be done in the world. But I think it was an experience that we all cherished as a family because we were like, look, this is like a really cool thing just to do all together. And it was like
Mhm.
my sister, my parents, my grandmother as well, and myself. And we were all
Oh,
just there in the kitchen, like
all
whether
the
it was,
generations. That's fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're just like washing the dishes, or cutting up the vegetables or the potatoes or the whatever it was, that we were making. And yeah, it was an awesome experience. So we've done things like that. We don't celebrate Christmas, but we on Christmas Day and stuff, like sometimes we'd go downtown and we'd just like get food, or we'd take things like blankets and warm socks and stuff like that. Because in Toronto, Canada, it gets really, really cold,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
So we'll just take things like that and then we'll give them out to the homeless. And then I think on the bigger scale, because my family is from Kenya, I still have family in Kenya. My other grandmother lives in Kenya, so does my aunt as well. So we go there quite often. And I think when
Mhm.
I was in 2014, so when I was 12, I was turning 12, we did this like cool service project with an association over there. The association pretty much helps underprivileged and disadvantaged children and orphans, helping them get off the streets and giving them new opportunities in life through soccer, and
Mhm.
education, right? So providing them with education, and then also like soccer training. They have like a soccer team and all that stuff. And this has like boys and girls from the ages of like 3 years old all the way to like 23, 24.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, we just like went to our soccer teams. Like I was on a soccer team, my sister as well. So we went to our soccer teams. We asked them if anyone had any donations. We were able to take like, I think nine, like 23-kilo suitcases worth. So nine big suitcases filled with just like donations, whether it was soccer balls, soccer equipment, clothes, shoes, you name it. And yeah, that was our first really big experience of like giving back. And it was the most incredible thing ever because, first of all, they all had smiles on their faces. They were all
Mhm.
so like grateful for just that experience that they were experiencing, but also just in general. I mean, they all had smiles. They were all living quite positively despite not having anything close to what we have growing up, you know?
Right.
So yeah, and it was definitely life-changing because you put things into perspective and then you realize like life is so much bigger than what we have, the
Mhm.
material stuff. There's so much more to life and there's so much more to do. There's so many more people in need. And I know that for me, at least, it's become one of my driving forces, right?
Mhm.
In everything that I do. So,
And what
yeah.
happens too, I think, when you as a parent actually create this environment in your family of giving and serving and making people feel seen and heard, it leaves a lasting change in your child. And as they grow up, they're going to continue that. And if we
Yeah.
all did this, can you imagine how the world would change?
Yeah.
I see my kids are all older now and they serve and they give back. My daughter has a heart for the homeless. She'll go down and help them because they get kicked out and she'll help them move their stuff. And, you know, um, it changes a life forever
Mm,
because once you've done it or you've seen it and you've been a part of it, you can't turn that off.
yeah.
You're aware.
Yeah.
It changes your heart.
Totally. Totally. And it is like it's it's even hard to explain. It's hard to put it into words, like that feeling that you get. Um, and which is why it's so interesting because ultimately I do feel like it is a selfish thing that you're doing. Like you're doing it as well because there's like a need within you that you're trying to meet.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I mean, you are helping people
Yeah.
and that matters, right? So,
And you're,
mhm.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, even though it is a selfish thing, you're still helping people, so it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, right?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah.
And it's a bond. It
Mm,
builds a bond in the family. If you
yeah.
do it together as a family, I mean, this is what we're talking about is parenting.
Yeah.
Um, and when you do that as a family, it creates a connection and a bond like no other.
Hmm.
And that lasts forever. And so, what a way to bring your kids together and create this new bond that's from from the inside out,
Yeah.
right?
It's another level of experience, right? I don't know, and I won't quote this because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure Jay Shetty had talked about the different levels of experiences that you can have with loved ones. And
Mhm.
at the bottom you have things like watching TV together, right? And then you go up a little bit and then you're having like a little experience where, I don't know, you're going for dinner or you're going for a walk together or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that he said that the highest level of experience that you can experience with someone else is an experience of contribution where
Mhm.
you're coming together and you're actually giving back. And he said that that actually brings people closer unlike anything else.
Wow.
And that's so profound too, because it's like it goes beyond just a transaction of I'm giving you something and then in
Yes.
return I'm feeling a certain way. It's like all this energy that's just coming together and almost like gluing everyone together and just making
Mhm.
everyone closer, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Wow. Well, so parents who are listening, if you haven't already done it, consider ways that you can pull your kids in as a family to contribute in some way.
Yeah.
I would also, as you're doing that, have them be a part of how that's done.
Hmm.
Have them come up with ideas as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And also like I feel you can start really small, you know? You can start really small. It could be like the simplest of things. It can be literally just playing a little game when you guys are going for a walk together and saying, okay, who can make the most amount of people smile today? I mean,
mhm.
it's such a small thing to do, but it starts there. And I would also say, like, sometimes you just saying, oh yeah, you should contribute more or you should give back. Instead of doing things like that, I mean, it'd also be a good thing for you to just do it on your own and for them to see it, to witness it. That'll
Right.
also like engrave something in
Model.
their head. Whether it's like, you're walking by a homeless person, or someone who's in need and you're just giving, right?
Mhm.
And you don't say
Yeah.
anything, you don't mention it, you don't
Right.
anything like that. Yeah, little things
Because
like
as
that, they
we
make a
know,
difference. Yeah.
our kids, our kids learn better from you what you do rather than what you say.
Say
So remember that because that's key. They are watching you all the time.
all the
So
time.
what you want them to be, you better be yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise it doesn't work, right? Otherwise it doesn't
Mhm.
work. You
Yeah.
can't Someone who is mean cannot tell someone else to be kind because it just doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
right? So, yeah. But yeah, find different ways to contribute. I think it'll bring everyone closer, whether it's the relationship that you have with your teen, whether that's even if, you have many kids, it
Mhm.
could bring them together as well, bring them closer, and then just bring the family closer together. There's so many benefits to it. There's so many benefits to it. And it is, after all, one of the six human needs that we all have. So it's a good thing to purposefully do it.
Yeah,
Um,
and one of the Tony Robbins quotes is, "The secret to living is giving."
yeah,
Right? I have it
yeah.
sitting on the wall right over there.
There we go. It's like a secret. It's literally that key, right? It's that
Mhm.
key to experiencing a fulfilled life, which is everything, really. It is.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, I think we're going to talk about how to develop or increase the creativity in your child.
Yeah, which is
We're
really
kind of
cool
losing it
too.
in these
Yeah.
days. How can we re-spark that creativity?
Yeah.
Join us next week.
We're excited for it. Alrighty. Take care, everyone. Feel free to like the podcast. Feel free to follow the podcast or subscribe to it if you're watching it on YouTube. Give it a rating as well if you're on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're listening from. Leave a
Yeah, let's
comment,
get this
ask us any
out. Let's get this
questions.
out.
Yeah, share it with whoever you want.
Let's change. Let's give, parents hope in
Yeah,
raising children. Let's turn the world into, kindness and love and all of that by
yeah.
making people aware.
It's a
Mhm.
ripple effect, right? It's a ripple
Exactly.
effect. One person at a
Why we're
time,
doing
and it
it.
just grows. Ooh. All right. Uh, take care, everyone. We appreciate
Okay.
you all. We love you all. And we'll see you next week for
Okay.
an episode on creativity. Woo!